My oh my, the fuel really has changed you, my old friend. The question is though, was it for the better? Folks, Don't Starve Together's February/March quality of life update is the update that just keeps on giving. And today sees us facing down the new and potentially nerfed Ancient Guardian here. Intentionally quote-unquote nerfed at that, in fact. For you see, Clay themselves have said that this new rumbling, stumbling big bad is not actually meant to be hard anymore, but fun? Not only that though, it might even have better loot to boot. And that sounds awesome. And parts of it are. However, I can't shake the feeling that the Guardian is doing more tumbling than rumbling nowadays. And we will talk about that throughout this video. But for now, you should know of some other, somewhat indirect and sneaky changes that could directly impact this very fight. That being, how this update has made Graves no longer block the Ancient Guardian. In fact, Graves no longer block literally anything, so be mindful there. But hold up, Beard. If that's the case, do any of these new fighting mechanics negate any of the other tactics of years past? Well, yes, but actually no. I mean, while it is still not the most recommended thing in the world, we can absolutely continue to stand and deliver all we bloody want with this guy. Armor up and smack him silly, even into his phase 2, mind you. Up until a little more into that phase 2, that is, as there's no official confirmation yet, but it does appear that initial shadow tentacle spawns are quite limited, so as long as you avoid them, you're fine. But just be prepared to switch strategies very quickly come the high 2000s with this health, as then more tentacles appear to immediately start to spawn and slap you silly instead. Oh, and I don't know about you, but I am crashing literally every 5 minutes in this beta, and especially when this guy attempts to jump, so just be aware of all that. But back on track here. Back in the day, the taking method wasn't always the best way to go, although it was certainly the easiest and or least annoying, was it not? Well, maybe, because make notes folks, rock lobsters are still a thing, and guess what? They're still going to completely wreck this dude, even into his phase 2. Now, I couldn't really test the smash attack against them, but I don't think it's really going to do all that much, especially when it comes so low into his health. Just take his aggro off him for a little bit, let him literally leap and stun himself, a mechanic that we're going to get into here really quick, and then just get them back into the fights. It's not going to be that hard. This is probably still the best method there ever was. That said, however, these new changes do make a mono-e-mono fight a lot easier, everyone. But be aware of this. What you're about to see is going to be a hybrid of attempts, because again, the beta just keeps crashing every 6 seconds. So I apologize for not entering this fight in a clean slate, as I kind of had to light up the arena for you too. However, the start shouldn't be too different from what you will experience. To start though, shockingly enough, we can technically kite this guy now, due to his somewhat new ability to perform a close ranged melee attack. Now some fights I had him staying in this pattern for a solid 4 to 5 kites, while others saw him quickly turning to just running us down, which is a classic move of his. That said, this classic maneuver is now his entire downfall, which is kinda weird. For you see, we can now run the sucker into his very own ruins pillars to stun him for a pretty darn significant amount of time. Plus, the act will even drop new structures called the blocky ruins that can do the exact same thing if he's got a proper run up to him. And that's the key. Sometimes he doesn't actually get stunned by these new debris things, so be very mindful there. When stunned though, he will give us ample time to get tons of hits in, but the moment it looks like he's starting to get up, he is literally trying to get up. So be ready for the next charge, and just do this over and over and over again, and you will be golden. Unless again, you are crashing over and over and over again come this jumping phase 2 move. But don't fret, the fight actually worked on day 1, so I do have some footage of my first ever encounter with this nightmare-fueled monstrosity, so there's that. Folks, say hello to Phase 2. An even easier fight than Phase 1 somehow. Don't get me wrong, I do like this change, and the guy is very cool looking, and I can dig the introduction of both his jumping smash and shadow tentacles. But there is just one teensy tiny problem. The guy now stuns himself. Seriously, let him leap, and he will just lie there getting the absolute crap beat out of him over and over and over again. Yeah, sure, he will eventually start spawning more and more shadow tentacles the closer to death he is, but if you're not taking him, those don't matter at all. Yeah, of course, he will still occasionally try to charge, but we already know the counter to this. And while he can still melee in this phase, just don't let him do it. Just wait for him to jump, and the guy essentially kills himself on our blades. It's so weird and so very easy. Grab a cane, some armor for the very little times you will get hit, as you should just be stunning him in both phases as much as you can, and have fun, I guess, because as Clay said, that's supposed to be the point. I'm gonna be honest, guys, this fight just doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem official, if you know what I mean. 90% of it came from a mod, for Pete's sake, and oh boy, does it look and play like it too. Even the new ruined bits that fall from the sky don't even hurt us if we stand underneath them, mind you. I don't quite understand it. We can litter the place with them, and they pose zero threat to us at all. Listen, some solutions. This guy needs to be stunned less and for a shorter amount of time to make this fight actually feel like we're doing something. Because something can still be challenging and fun at the same time, Clay. But hey, at least the loot is better now, I suppose. And for the most part, what we will be getting is kind of the same as it once was, but new ancient crafts have been added into the pool themselves, like magoluminescences and all that. Plus, I do believe Clay removed the potential for some basic magic staffs to show up, so now there's even more room for the rest of it, and maybe even greater numbers of said rest of it. The loot's better, that's all you need to know. But do be aware of this. I have noticed on the rare occasions I was actually able to complete this fight, that shadow tentacles do tend to persist, so you should probably give them a minute and then go check your loot. But there you have it, everyone. A not so well put together guide on Don't Starve Together's old but new boss, the Ancient Guardian, here in beta. But I will be sure to stay on top of this if anything else changes to help refine this guide. In short though, stun him and win. Good luck. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.